Shed your wings, come down, earthbound, dance with me. Angels sing, they resound, earthbound, dance with me. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Wherever you are in the world, welcome to the very first episode of my brand new podcast, Let's Ask Barb. I'm Barbara With. I'm an author, a composer, performer. I'm a teacher and a trainer. I've co-founded a process you're going to hear all about called Conflict Revolution. I'm going to focus this radio show on my work as a psychic channel. I started in 1987 channeling, and in 1993, I started channeling for groups of people. My psychic sorority sisters and I started talking with the angels. And that led, quite divinely, to my introduction to the Party of 12, a delightful group of souls who are working in the afterlife, quite a legendary group, I might say, working for world peace. And they're headed up by none other than Albert Einstein himself. And we've been working for a very long time, channeling, researching what the channeling says. And after all of this time, these decades of work, it's held up very well for all the time we've been together. But this show is going to be about you, the questioners. In fact, I'm going to call you the questioneers, like engineers or imagineers. Questioneers, people who have been haunted with questions, where you ask so many people just get irritated with you. It's like being haunted by these questions. And about everything, too, about life and why this and why that. And it gets to a point where you have so many questions you don't even know what to ask. And these are the questions that got you kicked out of catechism. Without you, the questioneers, the ones with the questions, we couldn't have done everything that we have done. Because think of this. In all the time that I've been channeling since 1987, I, Barbara With, have not been the one to ask the questions. If I were channeling, say, when I channeled Princess Diana, I channeled the questions. It wasn't really me asking the questions. And then, of course, everyone else asked the questions. I'm channeling. So I'm dependent upon you to be the questionnaires. Every week we're going to explore, I think, some pretty big life questions and also look into practical things. Maybe we'll be talking about love, whatever the questions are. There's no limits. So purpose, transformation, life journey, the nature of reality, whatever you want. There's no limits. The whole purpose of this is to bring this very practical wisdom for creating peace, first within ourselves, and then to let that bleed out into the world around us. If you have a question, a burning question you'd like to ask me, to ask the party, to ask Einstein, to ask the angels, to ask even your higher power, is in this party. But we'll get into that as we go along. Tonight, the first questionnaire is somebody who's probably, I would say she's my twin sister. She is as big of a conflict revolutionary, literally, as I am. She's very talented in her own right. She's a published author. She's a singer. She's a world traveler. She's really a master at conflict revolution, at following her intuition and getting her intellect under control. And so I want to welcome as my first guest, my first questionnaire, Debbie Delung. Hi, Debbie.
Thank you. Oh, that was really sweet. Thank you. Questionnaire, I'm just always full of it.
In the best way possible.
In the best way. Yeah.
So I'm counting on some questions because this is our maiden voyage. And we only have 15 minutes to talk about stuff. Let's see how far we get. And I know you have many questions, and we can always come back after the break for another one if we need to, but bring me the best one.
Okay, I know that 15 minutes will go fast. I have a list of questions. Really, I have so many questions, but I'm really questioning. It's how I'm feeling lately. I'm feeling more fluid or a lot of synchronicities. And I'm almost aware of thinking I'm in a simulation and I'm so confused. And I would like any insight on, and I hate to say, because I'm a believer that whatever happens outside of me is something that's happening inside of me as a result. So when I say that I feel like I'm being attacked by energies or the Schumann resonance, that is evidence of this energy that's being recorded. However, they're recording it is unusual, especially these last couple of days. And I felt like I saw somebody sitting in a chair, even in my bedroom, and it made me scream. And it was just so like a split second. And my mother's been hearing voices on the phone. So I don't know. Is something going on?
Okay, that's good. That's a all around good question. So we will command that only the most divine light shine down upon you at this time, and that the greatest good be present here. We have asked you to bring this particular question forward because on a very rudimental, basic level, humans are in need right now of understanding how much you cannot know at this moment. There is such a huge expansion going on, and the human intellect is doing what it's naturally come here to do, which is to define the matrix, to say that is a chair and that is a table and these are my feelings. And then you have to layer the complexity of being a human on top of all of that. You're creating the table, you're creating the chair. And everything, as you say, is originating from within you. This complexity is boggling your mind. And it's supposed to be. Your mind is being decompartmentalized after however many civilizations of living in one particular way. So, of course, people are losing their minds. People are being challenged to be self-sufficient because the earth has given you everything you need to live a fruitful, beautiful life. You're being challenged to find that way, to choose to create that way. It's not a cosmic joke that the external world is manifesting so crazily, because it is a reflection of the craziness of having to decompartmentalize the intellect. Because when you decompartmentalize the intellect, you start to take away that is a chair, that is a table. You feel and experience the deconstruction of the matrix itself as you loosen up the intellect. And that's terrifying for the ego, of course, because it's the letting go of letting goes, letting go of the ego. And then hand in hand with that is the intuition and the compassion, filling up those spaces that have been decompartmentalized, so that your job only becomes committing for the good of the whole, starting with yourself, aligning to compassion, anchoring that change. And we say the best way to burn off the emotion that is inevitably kicked up is creativity. Interestingly enough, one way to use your creative energy is to employ conflict resolution. And because you do, you are accelerating your expansion. And it doesn't make the ego any happier. It feels just like a wilder ride indeed. And yet, the beauty is at the same time as you let go, as you put yourself through your own death and really let go, you find the magic happens. Then the synchronicity becomes a natural part of life. You relax into it. Even if you're anxious, even if you hold in your body at some point along the way anger or depression or sadness or whatever, there's no judgments on those feelings. There is in the culture, but not within you. Turning inward, listening more to self, learning to trust self, and then being committed to the good of the whole, now you're infusing your own operating system with a command, and that's love. Love is the greatest good. Compassion is the fifth fundamental force. That's why you're here. And that's the good news, because you can do that. You can become the change. It's all within your power. You don't have to wait for anybody. Nothing can stop you. And the more you go up against, the more you demonstrate the truth of that, no matter what the ego is screaming about. And it's not measured in how much pain you don't feel. It's measured in synchronicity. Your alignment isn't measured in how much pain or anger you don't feel. It's measured in the synchronicity around you of how matter manifests aligning to compassion. And that's the magic. Where you sit back, you let go, you know there's a bigger operating system. And you in particular, Debbie, you know the worst of you is a character in a play. You came here to be this character. If you were actually acting in a show and you played this character who was predefined by the role, you wouldn't stop in the middle of the play and decide that this character needed to be different. It was part of the play. Other people's dynamics play off your character. It's not always comfortable to be triggered by other people or have other people triggered by you and then having to deal with the actual real life he said, she said about it. That's all part of the play. And what's most important is how you go through that with what character you have. And everybody has their own unique character, but you're all connected by compassion because you're all one body. That's your domain. And that is the good news. If you need help ever, you know exactly what to do. And in the meanwhile, find a way to love the ego into its sublime submission. Well, Debbie, what thinketh you?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That was so amazing. And I feel so much better about everything. That really calmed me. In fact, I'm not so anxious now. Oh,
Yeah, it really gives hope.
yeah.
Like tactile hope, not just the idea of hope, but you just, when you can take a breath and relax and go, right.
Yeah, right.
Exhale.
Exactly. And it's a challenge, however. Love the ego. That's a challenge. Yeah, into its sublime submission. I love that. Okay, ego, sublime submission.
Yeah, that was the greatest ending.
Thank you so much for that. And I took notes because I'm a questioneer and note taker. And I will go over these and just, I'm so appreciative. Thank you. Thank you for that.
You are welcome. And we'll be right back after a word from our sponsor. Hi, this is Barbara with. People often ask me, what's it like to have a reading with Einstein and the Party? And honestly, it's hard to describe unless you've experienced it. But consider this. There's psychics who can literally read your mind and your energy. Then there's mediums who talk to those who have passed over. And then there's channelers. They go into the divine intelligence and bring back information, translating a message just for you. I am a channeler, and in my readings, we step into this sacred space where the noise of all the world drops away, and you can finally hear your own higher self. You quiet your mind, open your heart, and connect with your higher wisdom that's always there guiding you. We'll look at your life from a higher perspective, your origins, your current path, your purpose, and your potentials that are all waiting to unfold. You'll get practical, loving guidance about what's ahead and how to align with your greatest good and move forward with confidence. People so often leave their sessions feeling lighter, more hopeful, more confident. They tell me they finally understand what's been happening and, more importantly, what they can do for the greatest good. And I love that because this is what these sessions are for, to help you take back control of your own life. So if you're wondering what your higher power is trying to tell you, maybe it's time to book a reading. Go to barbarawith.com/readings, or send me an email at info@barbarawith.com. And if you act now, use promo code Einstein and get 40% off your first reading. Let's open the door to some Einsteinian wisdom and see what your higher power wants to say. Shed your wings, come down, earthbound, dance with me. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I am so excited. We have one of my favorite questionnaires here on the phone with me, Debbie Delung. And by the way, Debbie Delung is in Georgia. And I am in Lake Superior. Hey, Debbie, I know you have an even better question, I bet, than the last one, which was great.
It's actually a lead off the last question or the last answer that I got about the synchronicities. I'm so intrigued about what synchronicities are and what they mean. So, for example, what I think of synchronicities, I've been seeing the word king a lot. And this was before that no king thing. I was seeing king everywhere. King, like king, everything or everywhere. And then the word market, and then the word garden. Somebody just again said, I have you in a garden, and I don't know, Mexico is another. So I'm just wondering, do these mean something? Am I supposed to do something or put them together and make connections? I almost feel like this is a game of putting the connections together and seeing what they come up with, or are they warning me, or just affirmations? But I have no idea what they mean. Do I need to put meaning into it, or am I just imagining things?
Well, we know we're all imagining things, but let's get to that question. In terms of synchronicity, think on a vibrational level. Start on the vibrational level. And what that means is that when you align to compassion inside yourself, which basically means that you're processing emotion in this new way with breath work, all of it moving, and that you're stepping up to take control of your own intellectual domain, and that you're actively seeking for your intuition to be the guiding force of your life. And when you do that, think about a drum head with sand on it. And when you vibrate that sand, there's a pattern that emerges from that vibration. And that's basically this rudimental connection of you to compassion or to God, whatever the God within you. On that level, you have that very specific form that your sand takes when your vibration of your consciousness is coming to life. As that energy flows up from the center of the planet, which is where the source is, to the surface of the planet, which is where the lens is, it has to pass through the portal of intellect. Intellect will warp the energy. The ego will decry and denounce it, bend it out of shape, then manifest that in the lens. Conflicts, victimization, etc. But when you're aligned to compassion, an intellect is working with the system in its sublime submission, being activated by the instruction of the intuition, then the world around you starts to vibrate because now you're the beat of the drum. You're the beat of the drum of compassion that then vibrates into the environment around you, into the lens, a reflection of that. And that is what happens. Things become easier. Conflicts resolve. You move through difficult anxious emotion and come out the other side even more unified. And all of that then creates, for you particularly, Debbie, a communication with self. It's the communication and the game that you create for yourself to tease your ego. Am I really doing this? And then your whole system, the whole of your operating system can sort of chuckle like, what's your mind tell you? Well, sometimes your mind tells you you're not. And sometimes your mind then also thinks if there's not a compartment to put it in or something to use it for, and yet you're just as happy, just witnessing the experience, knowing king, 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 king. And what we suggest, because we don't want to we're not here to tell you what that means to you, is that you, and you already do this, you sit with the, just like you did in the vocalization of king, 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 and see what your inner body then tells you. What is that? Is that the sovereignty of your life? As far as markets, there is a perpetual need to be at market in the world, buying and selling, trading, swapping. There's always this exchange of energy and exchange of goods. And what does that mean? Because if you show up at the market and you're the one that always brings those amazing tomatoes, and somebody else shows up at the market, but they've got that honey, and somebody else comes to the market and they've got the eggs. Marketing isn't just selling things to other people. It's about this sense of community, and how do you create a market of goods and services and love. And how do you market love? The greatest way to market love is to be love. Your body will tell you when to say no, when to turn left. And this entire classroom is all about getting the mind out of the way. And when you do that, then you know that magic is yours. And then it's almost like you're in some kind of half movie, half cartoon, where the birds are painted in, but you're actually there. That's how it feels, in that surreal sort of matrixy way. So embrace it and embrace your power.
Oh my goodness. That oh my goodness. They described exactly how what I'm experiencing. That's Disney painted. I painted in there. And it's just bizarre. That's exactly how I've been feeling. And then as far as the body saying when to go left, and that's been an interesting quandary for me. I'm thinking my intuition is like ruling my body. I will let my body just do things without my mind in the way.
Yes,
and
yes.
and what I do. So it's almost like my intuition is infused in my body. Am I right about that?
Yeah. Yeah. And Debbie, I'm feeling the same way. I've got these deer now. In my backyard, I got these deer.
Yes.
And it's the deer, it's the birds, it's the Disney movie.
Yes. I know.
And,
It's in there too.
and I love how they said it doesn't preclude anxiety. It's not like we don't have to deal with deep emotion like it's some Disney movie, but it is.
Yeah. I totally relate to that. And I love the insight I got into the king, the sovereignty. That makes so much sense. And the marketing, that's so weird too, because about the community. I was just involved in this market, huge festival with markets of different people offering their goods, whether it be food or arts or whatever. We all came together, and it was called Unity and Community.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and it was love. Everyone was, people would even say, oh, it just feels so good here. And I just feel so happy today. It's a happy day. There was a lot of love there. So I really appreciate this insight. Thank you so much, Barbara.
Oh, well, you are so welcome. And I appreciate it too. I think no matter who asks a question, and I don't think it matters how personal it is, we all get something so valuable out of it, listening to each other's wear and tear.
Yes.
And it really does. It really, and that's my hope, because I want people to have hope. I'm so hopeful. I am so excited.
I just found a magnet, and it was a butterfly, and it had the word hope on it, and I was like, I really like this.
Oh, and a butterfly is my mom.
Aww.
That's her deal. So thanks, Mom. She's always here. She's always flitting about.
Yeah. Oh, I love you, Mom.
Yeah, me too. All righty. Well, we're going to go to commercial break, but come back. Hey, I'm Barbara With, psychic channel for a group of legendary souls in afterlife who refer to themselves as The Party, headed up by none other than Albert Einstein. And together we have channeled some incredible and inspiring theories, and so far our research has held up very well through all of the decades that we've been working together. But here's the thing, channeling isn't just about mediumship or connecting with those in spirit. It's about learning to listen to your own unconscious mind and to open the pathways of intuition and imagination, and that feeds everything that we do. When we tap into that inner current, our creativity expands, our problem solving deepens, and life begins to flow with new clarity, purpose, and synchronicity. And people always ask me, can I teach others to channel? And I say I sure can, and I often do. And that's why I'm telling you about my one-to-one coaching for those of you who want to be guided into this next level. Now, this is not a class. This is just you and me. And actually, it's all about you. You who have already been doing your work. You've built a relationship to your own creativity and spirit. You're not afraid to face yourself. You're ready to go deeper, but you don't even know what questions to ask. All you know is that you feel this longing to get to the next level, and you kind of wish you had a roadmap. Well, now you do. My How to Channel coaching is for those of you who are ready to go beyond what you think you know and who are willing to explore the uncharted sacred space of spirit of self while being firmly grounded and aligned to compassion. And the great part is we can schedule our sessions on a timetable that works just for you. So let me help you step into the next level of your evolution. Awaken your channel, ignite your creativity, and discover the wisdom that's already within. So visit barbarawith.com/classes and begin your journey today. Use coupon code COACH and get 20% off. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining me for my very first episode of Let's Ask Barb. And if you have a burning question and you want to become a questioneer, email me at info@barbarawith.com or call the Let's Ask Barb questionnaire hotline at 917-397-0290. That's 917-397-0290. And leave your own burning question. One last thing, none of this is legal, medical, or psychological advice. This is just conscious cosmic advice based on my research with Einstein and the Party, with the angels, with the psychic sorority. So please use it for education, inspiration, and entertainment. Please subscribe to the channel and hit the notifications so you'll get word when I get out the next episode of Let's Ask Barb. And until we meet again, don't stop asking questions.
We're paragons of vagabonds, we're diamonds and pearls, humility and grace. It's just a human race looking for perfection.